open for the service? Oh, yeah. No, but does he not even get open for the service then? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin our services, if we can please kindly turn off all cell phones or electronic devices, or please place them on silent. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank you for joining us today for a celebration of Alla's life. Losing someone, beloved mother, mother-in-law, grandmother, friend, is the most difficult thing in the world. And while we're here today to mourn her loss, more importantly, we're here today to celebrate her life, to remember how her life touched yours, and the impact it will have not only now, but in the past and the future as well. I'd like to read a poem to begin the service that talks about thinking about someone's memory with love. And the poem's called Afterglow, and it reads, I'd like the memory of me to be a happy one. I'd like to leave an afterglow of smiles when life is done. I'd like to leave an echo whispering softly down the ways of happy times and laughing times and bright and sunny days. I'd like the tears of those who grieve to dry before the sun of happy memories that I leave when my life is done. In a few moments, we're going to hear words from family, words from the heart. But there are words that talk about life being a journey that Allah certainly went through, from Ukraine to the United States, and a journey through life she went through as well. And the poem reads, birth is a beginning, but death is a destination. Life is a journey, a going, a growing from stage to stage, from childhood to maturity and youth to age, from ignorance to awareness and innocence to knowing, from foolishness to discretion and perhaps to wisdom, from weakness to strength or strength to weakness, and often back again, we pray, to health, from offense to forgiveness, from loneliness to love, from joy to gratitude, from pain to compassion, from grief to understanding, from fear to faith, from defeat to defeat to defeat. And so looking backward or ahead, we see that victory lies not at some high point along the way, but in having made that journey, stage by stage, a sacred pilgrimage. Birth is a beginning, and death a destination, but life is a journey, a sacred pilgrimage made stage by stage, from birth to death, to life everlasting. Part of life everlasting are tributes to Allah, and I'm going to call upon first her grandson Edgar to share his thoughts.
thank you, family, friends, and loved ones, for gathering today in memory of my Alla. The number of you here today is a testament to how many lives she touched. Without a doubt, Alla was one of the most important figures in my life. She always provided me with unconditional love and support, a willingness to cook, drive, and do whatever she could to make our family happy. She was a restless and energetic individual who never stopped moving and never stopped caring, no matter the time of day and despite illness. The profound strength that she showed through even the toughest times is admirable, to say the least. And even if in her final days, she displayed an unmatched selflessness that was truly her signature. I am grateful that I was able to hold her hand before she left us, to tell her how much she meant to me, and just how much I appreciated every moment we spent together. In one of her last days in hospice, I spent the day with her. She shared her life story. We reminisced on our memories together, and the circle of life appeared to connect as I cared for the woman that helped raise me. Alla was born in 1947 in a small Ukrainian town near Sumy, Ukraine, to Ivan and Maria Konev. She came from a hardworking family, and despite her country roots, grew up like a princess. Her two older brothers, Dima and Nikolai, were protective of their sister and gave her the world. Meeting Dima years later, I realized that kindness ran in their genes. As a child, Alla was athletic and adventurous, the type that was not afraid to walk on frozen lakes, even if it meant falling in and having to be rescued. After graduating high school, she moved to Kharkiv, where she met Vladimir, her husband. She said that she picked him out from the crowd because he was the most handsome. 1 year after they married, in 1970, Alla gave birth to her only son, Oleg. She told me, without hesitation, that her favorite moment in life was his birth. He became the center of her universe, and she worked hard to create the best life for him, providing what seemed impossible in the former Soviet Union. Their home in Kharkiv was filled with love, and apparently many pets. They had hamsters and cats, fish, and birds. Oleg fell in love with his classmate Tatiana, and they married at a young age. Alla supported her son's relationship from the start. She traveled with Tatiana to visit Oleg in the army. They went 11 times in a single year. In Alla's own words, Tatiana was not just a daughter to her, she was her closest kin. In 1994, Oleg moved to the United States. He called up Alla one day and said, "Mama, I need you to help me with my son." She boldly joined him in a foreign country to help care for her grandchildren. Alla made the little moments in life special. Our long walks feeding geese, collecting sticks. And bringing my mother flowers from our trips. I can taste the bowls of soup that were absolutely mandatory, and her ever-expanding menu of items as I grew older. Whereas most children run to their parents when scared at night, I run to my Alla, whose soft robe or halatik and warmth like a pechka always gave me comfort. She was my baseline as we moved from Millville to Cherry Hill, from our apartment to our home, and as I graduated each milestone in life. In 2001, my brother, the troublemaker, was born. He soon became her new purpose, and we would fight over whom she loved more. She drove him to just as many sporting events, school meetings, and loved him dearly. At one point, Alla moved in together with my grandmother, Raya. Raya became her closest friend and confidant, and although I do not agree with their choice of Russian television, their closeness and motivation for each other was amazing. I would travel to the Caribbean with the two of them and recall laughing at their antics on the beach, which she absolutely loved. I can still see her swimming in the ocean for hours on end. When I was 13, Alla faced her first fight with cancer. The thought of losing her at that time was unbearable, but she made it through rounds of chemo and radiation like a warrior. With my mama and papa's support, she was able to make it another 13 years. Through illness and difficult surgeries, she continued to live every minute to the fullest and always lent a helping hand to her many friends. She kept in touch with her relatives and loved ones that lived abroad. And I will never forget bringing Samantha home to her for the first time and how quickly Alla welcomed her into her family. She would call me to make sure I treated Samantha like a gentleman. It feels surreal not having her here physically, but I plan to carry her with me in my heart. I know she will be there when I walk down the aisle and every year going forward. I love you.
Beautiful words, Edgar. Thank you so much. There's a poem that talks about relief from illness and struggles, which I'd like to share. It's entitled, I'm Free. And the poem reads, don't grieve for me, for now I'm free. I followed the path that was laid for me. I turned away and when I heard the call, I turned my back and left it all. I could not stay another day to laugh, to love, to work or play. Tasks left undone must stay that way. I have found that place at the close of day. And if my parting has left a void, then fill it with remembered joy. A friendship shared, a laugh, a kiss. Yes, these things I too will miss. Be not burdened with times of sorrow. I wish you the sunshine of tomorrow. My life's been full. I've savored much. Good friends, good times, a loved one's touch. Perhaps my time seemed all too brief. Don't lengthen it now with undue grief. Lift up your heart and share with me. God wanted me now, and I am free. I'm going to ask Calvin to please come up and share his thoughts.
I was saying farewell to Alla 5 days ago in her bed. It was probably midnight, 1 a.m., and trying to think of everything to say to her. And she looks at me and she goes, let me tell you one thing. You can only cry once. So I think I cried 3 times, and I always listen to her. So I'm going to make sure to smile throughout this, because that's exactly what she would want. 3 months ago, I found out that Alla was terminally ill. Every day at school, I would call her, and especially on the car rides, I think, I didn't want to think it, but I thought I'd be standing up here. What do I say about her? And unfortunately, 3 months passed. I went up to my mom last night and I said, Mom, what do I say? She gave me the world, she gave me everything, and I thought what to say. I could go on forever and stand up here and explain her life story, and every single person here can tell a story. All I have to say is Alla's hands and arms stopped working. She could barely see about a week ago. last Monday was the first day of my internship, and Alla at this point she had already not been doing well. She was barely functioning. She was barely going to the bathroom herself. She was barely doing anything herself. And it's 9:20 in the morning. I'm still sleeping. And I get a call in the morning, and it's from Alla about a week ago. And she goes, "What are you doing? You need to wake up." And I said, "Oh my God." I told myself in my head, I was like 10 more minutes sleep, and I was like, she can call me right now and tell me to wake up. I should go out here and run a marathon. And while this was a small portion of what I can explain about Alla, I think it explains the world. I hope to resemble her ability to care for others, and her ability to care for others regardless of what was going on in life. And of course, I don't want to put the cancer an example, and obviously she was very sick when she was still caring for us. But I think that even in the smallest moments of life, when you think that you can't care for others and you can only take care of yourself, there's always an opportunity to give love. And in Russian, there's a song called Million, Million, Million Alifros, which in English is like million, million, million Alla's roses. And in my eyes, I think we all know that unfortunately Alla was only one rose in this world, and there was nothing else like her. And as a rose that smells good and always brings happiness, I hope that we all learn, and I myself can learn to love just like her. Because I think that our ability to love others and show respect is one of the biggest aspects of life. And to this day, I will still get angry. I'll still get mad at my mom for making the steak medium well rather than medium. But I'll always remember Alla saying, why are you guys yelling, There's no time for this. So moving forward, I hope that we can all replicate her ability to love, her ability to care, and we all will grow and strive to be an aspect of what Alla was for us. May she finally be in peace, because she struggled for so long, as Edgar said, and I think that the time has truly come, and for the first time in my life I can say that Alla is not worrying about anything. So we shall carry on and worry for her, worry in happiness, worry in love, and we love you, Alla. Thank you.
Thank you, Cal. There's a reading by Margaret Mead that reads, "Remember me in your heart, your thoughts, your memories of the times we've loved, the times we've cried, the times we've fought, and the times we've laughed. For if you always think of me, I will never be gone." I'd like to call upon Oleg to share his thoughts about his beloved mother.
I'm gonna speak Russian. Все, кто меня знает, я думаю, сейчас думают только об одном, чтобы он только не расплакался. И я постараюсь это сделать. Очень постараюсь. Наша Аллочка, мамочка, бабуля. Это так, как мы ее называли. И каждый день начинался «Доброе утро, мамочка» или «Good night, бабуля». Каждый день. Я на всю жизнь запомню мамины слова, сказанные совсем недавно. Дети их слышали. «Сынок, я желаю тебе, чтобы ваши сыновья имели такие же взаимоотношения вами, как я имела с тобой. Только мама может такое пожелать. Это было ее последний Mother's Day. Когда папа умер 18 лет назад, мама полностью посвятила жизнь нашей семье, создавая душевное благополучие, домашний уют. И Танечка сказала, что она не представляет жизнь без Аллы, потому что во всем есть ее прикосновение. Аллино прикосновение было во всем, в каждом аспекте нашей жизни. И когда мама была на хосписе, Танечка все равно взяла day off. Я говорю: Таня, ты должна take your mind off, ты будешь работать. Она сказала: ну я просто хочу с ней посидеть. Просто посидеть с мамой. Мама наш друг. Мама самая красивая. Мама катализатор добра всегда была. Мама сильная. Мама никогда не переставала бороться. И она всегда создавала для себя self-goals на каждом этапе ее жизни, на каждом этапе ее болезней. Если не держится шея, нужно ходить с палочкой. Если отказывают ноги, нужно ходить с уокером. Если не могу звонить, значит нужно что-то еще делать. У мамы никогда не было адженды. Мама нас просто нас всех любила. Безвозмездно. И каждый из нас это чувствовал, потому что это чувство невозможно обмануть. Мама любила детей. Она интересовалась жизнью наших друзей. Она любила приглашать вас всех в наш дом. Thanksgiving, пожалуй, был, как говорит, this is signature. Мамочка, мы оберегали тебя, чтобы ты могла жить полноценно, а я знаю, что ты скрывала от меня свою боль. Мама такой человек, с которым было легко. Даже когда мама была тяжело больной, с ней было легко. У мамы была абсолютно уникальная связь с каждым из нас, с каждым из вас. Удивительно, но когда мама приняла решение попрощаться с каждым из вас, она уже не могла держать телефон, и получилось, что я был part of it. И я держал трубку, и она с вами разговаривала. И что интересно, что каждый из вас считал ее своим близким другом. У мамы были хорошие принципы в жизни. Она никогда ни о ком, не то что не позволяла говорить, думать плохо. Мама была очень интеллигентный человек. Мама за всех переживала, когда Келечка плохо кушала, чтобы у Горюши было все хорошо с работой, когда у Тани болела нога, и она не любила, когда я не брит. Так что, мамочек, я сегодня побрился. Я уверен, что всю свою жизнь мы будем говорить: вот мама сделала бы, Алла бы сделала бы так, мама бы не поступила так. Мы всегда, мамочка, будем тебя помнить. Самые положительные моменты в последние дни были, когда Келечка на видеочат показывал, как он готовит. а Эдгар и Саманта сделали ей видеотур в New Apartment. И как бы не звучит это грустно, но когда это мне запомнится на всю жизнь, когда мы были в хоспис и разговор Эдгара с ней наедине, это было абсолютно необыкновенно. Я благодарен каждому из вас. От всей души, в первую очередь, я хочу спасибо сказать тебе, папочка. За абсолютно неземную заботу о маме. Спасибо вам, Райван. Необыкновенную силу давал ей Келечка. Special blinding with Edgar. Лида, вам длинный поклон. Совсем недавно, когда у мамы перестали работать руки и почти не видели глаза, мама попросила найти мне детские открытки и просила мне читать ваши поздравления. И абсолютно случайно я нашел мамины стихи, я хочу вам их прочитать. Первое, я не знал, что мама пишет стихи. Я постараюсь прочитать. Не буду сдаваться. Я болен в ногах и спине. Хочу навсегда оставаться подвижной и нужной семье. Чтоб дети меня уважали, чтоб людям была я нужна. Хочу быть полезным я людям, друзьям до последнего дня. Я буду стараться активно способствовать цели такой, ведь ждать избавления наивно от груза болезней годов. Зарядка мне явно поможет, прогулки, активная жизнь, да связь с родными, друзьями позволят мне дольше прожить. Ведь так интересно на свете. И жить, и творить, и мечтать, решать ежедневно проблемы, и с внуками вместе гулять. Прекрасно душой понимаю, всему наступает конец. Но в памяти наших потомков надеюсь оставить свой след. Пока они живы, конечно, пусть долго продлится их век. Жива будет память о маме, о бабушке, друге, семье. Как говорит Саманта, we have to be strong. И, как говорит Кирюша, нужно учиться у Аллы. Я не хочу говорить о Манин, который мы поставим Манин, но я хочу прикладывать, что Келечка прикладывала. Нужно жить жизнь, так говорила Алла. До последней минуты мама приносила добро. Сегодня утром было, вчера было страшно, что я не позвоню, не пойду, не напишу текст-месседж. И я не хочу думать о маме в прошедшем времени. В жизни, как оказалось, многое бывает в последний раз. Был последний день рождения, когда мама называла меня сын. Был последний Mother's Day, когда Эдгар и Келвин были с бабушкой. Последний день, когда Алла попросила принести ее со второго этажа, чтобы просто с нами посидеть за столом. Был последний текст-месседж, последний звонок. Но что вечно, это наша любовь к тебе, мамочка. память о тебе. Прекрасно душой понимаю, всему наступает конец, но в памяти наших потомков надеюсь оставить свой след, пока они живы, конечно. Пусть долго продлится их век. Жива будет память о маме, о бабушке, друге, семье. Куда бабочка? Сладких тебе слов.
There's a poem that reads, at the rising of the sun and at its going down, we will remember them. At the growing of the buds and the rebirth of spring, we'll remember Alla. At the blueness of the skies and the warmth of summer, we'll remember a beloved mother. In the rustling of the leaves and the beauty of autumn, we'll remember a loving grandmother. At the beginning of the year and when it ends, we'll remember a loving mother-in-law. As long as we live, she too will live, for she is now a part of us as we remember her. When we are weary and in need of strength, when we are lost and sick at heart, when we have joy we crave to share, when we have decisions that are difficult to make, when we have achievements that are based on hers, we will remember her. As long as we live, Alla will always live, for she is now a part of us, as today and always we remember her. I'm going to ask if we can take a moment of silence before our closing prayer to remember how she touched your lives. I'm going to conclude our service this morning in the chapel with a poem written by David Harkin. And the description of the poem, it says that it's a poem about being grateful for one's life. But by the eulogies given this morning, it's very obvious how grateful you are for Alla's life. And the poem reads, you can shed tears because she is gone, or you can smile because she lived. You can close your eyes and hope that she will come back, or you can open them and see all that she has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see her, or you can be filled with the love that you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live for yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember her and only that she is gone, or you can cherish her memory and let her live on. You can cry, close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what she would want you to do. Smile, open your eyes, love, and go on. At the conclusion of our service here in the chapel, everyone is invited to join us at Locustwood Memorial Park for the burial. And afterwards, the family has invited everyone to Amici to join with them and share more stories and more memories about Alla. We will have directions from both here to the cemetery and the cemetery to the restaurant on your cars as you leave the chapel.
Have the pallbearers, please. Rise, please. Rise once more. be seated, please? Ladies and gentlemen, I would ask that you kindly remain seated. This row, please. This row right up the top. This row, please. Right this way. This row, please. Draw here, right this row, please. And this row, please. Please, and this way, please. This way, please. Thank you for waiting.
No, it's the beginning. Well. I'll get the trash.